Hello everyone, this is Ravinder Dundra and welcome back to my channel. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about class 10 CBSE chapter number 6, that is manufacturing industries. In the previous lectures about this chapter, we have already discussed about this classification of industries, how industries are classified. So in that, we have seen different types of industries. So now, in continuation with that, we will discuss some of the very important industries in our country. So starting with this agro-based industries. First, let me explain you what do you mean by this agro-based industries. Hope you already we have already discussed about this agro-based industries. Those industries which depend upon the agriculture and agricultural products, we call them as this agro-based industries. And we have different agro-based industries such as cotton, jute, woolen, silk, sugar and edible oil, etc. All these industries, they come under this agro-based industries. So in that, first we will discuss about this textile industries. So textile industries, you all know that they occupy a very unique position in the Indian economy. So let us see why these textile industries occupy a unique place, that means a very special place in our Indian economy. What is the role played by these textile industries? So first and very important thing is that contribution to the industrial production. That means these textile industries, they are contributing significantly very high to this industry. And the second reason is that employment generation. So among the other industries, the main employment is created by this textile industry. And the third very important reason is this foreign exchange earnings. Because of this textile industries, we are earning more and more foreign currency. So how we are earning? Whatever we are producing, we are exporting. So we will get the foreign currency. So that is how we are earning this foreign exchange. That means what we can understand is that our Indians textiles have more demand in the foreign countries. That is the reason why we are able to earn more and more foreign earnings. And at the same time, this textile industry is the only industry in India which is self-reliant. Self-reliant means what? Which is not depending upon the other industries, or not depending upon this government. So those industries, we call them as the self-reliant, and the only industry which is self-reliant in India is it is this textile industry. And the other very specialty about this textile industry is that it is the only industry which has the complete in the value chain. That means starting from raw material, spinning, weaving, dyeing, clothing, and finally into the garments. So all these having a complete chain starting from raw material to the garments will be done in this textile industry. So in that, we will mainly discuss about this cotton textile industry, then we will discuss about this jute textile industry. So first, let us talk about this cotton textiles. So taking from ancient time, that means long back till the present day, we can understand this textile industries. So how textile industries have developed over a period of time. So starting with this ancient India, that means during this ancient time period, we Indians were dependent on mainly on this hand spinning and handloom weaving. That means we did not have much technology. We had to depend upon natural methods, at the same time on our own hands. No technology, no machines, no power supply. And later on, that means after the 18th century, that means during this 1700s or later on, because of some inventions made over the European countries, slowly power looms came into existence. Hope you all know what happened, who invented and where it was invented, and the reason why power looms came into existence. Then the next thing is that because of this power looms which came into existence in India, some of our traditional industries they suffered setback during colonial period. Why? Because we Indians do not have much technology in setting up these industries, or the power looms or the modern industries. But Britishers, when they arrived in India, they brought these mechanized industries. Because of that, they are producing cheaper cloth and selling at a lower cost. Therefore, people stopped preferring the traditional cloth or the traditional goods. So automatically the traditional industries they have suffered a lot during this colonial period. And later on in India also, for the first time in the year 1854, the textile mill was set up in a place known as this Mumbai. So for the first time in India, the textile mill was set up in Mumbai in the year 1854. Let us discuss why in the early time period some of the textile industries were set up in the states of Gujarat and Maharashtra. So what are the reasons why they were set up only in Gujarat and Maharashtra? So let us see some of the reasons. Let us discuss why there is a more concentration of industries in Maharashtra and Gujarat in the early years in our country. So let us see the reasons. So the first and very important reason is that availability of raw cotton. As you all know that cotton is highly grown in black soil, and this black soil is highly available in Maharashtra as well as Gujarat. So therefore these are the two states where cotton is highly grown and high availability of raw cotton. So that is the reason why they are concentrated especially in Maharashtra and Gujarat. And the other reasons are, here there is a good market for this whatever the goods that are produced in the textile industry, and transport facility is there. Both these states, Maharashtra and Gujarat, they have coastal area. They can easily transport to the other countries, the European countries, and at the same time the availability of labor, cheap labor is available, and the climate is also favorable for these industries. So because of these reasons, the most of the industries during the early years were set up in Maharashtra and Gujarat. And the other reasons are, it has close links with the agriculture. As you all know, textile, cotton textile, they have close link with this industry, agriculture. So therefore what happens, it is providing a living source, or you can say it is providing some livelihood to these farmers. And at the same time this industry also support many other industries. So first thing is availability of raw cotton, market, transport, labor, moist climate. At the same time it is providing a livelihood to the farmers, and at the same time this industry also support many other industries. How it supports? For example, in order to dye any cloth or manufacture any cloth, we require some kind of chemicals, and we require some kind of colors. So dyeing industry is getting benefit, or packaging industry, etc., etc. Different industries also get benefit from this cotton textile industry. So because of all these reasons, in the early time period most of the industries were set up in Maharashtra and Gujarat. And now let us see the situation about India and the relation of cotton as well as in India and India. So first you see, India, if you take, India is very good in spinning. That means it can make the raw cotton into yarn, but what is happening, it cannot use this yarn in weaving, knitting as well as this processing. So we are very good at spinning, but we are unable to do this processing such as weaving, knitting and other processing required. So therefore what Indians are, or what our India is doing is that we are exporting yarn to the other countries, especially to Japan, USA, UK, Russia and some other countries. So we are just our industries, our spinning industries are very good. So we are taking the raw material, we are spinning it and turning it into yarn. Then after turning this, we are, of course we are making this weaving, knitting and processing, but our industries are not that much competitive in weaving, knitting and processing. Therefore what is happening, we are exporting yarn to the other countries such as Japan, USA, UK, Russia. And what is happening in these countries, they are using this yarn and they are processing, weaving and they are turning into garments and apparels. And after that what is happening, we Indians, we are importing garments as well as apparel from the other countries. So we are exporting and we are importing the garments and apparels. So what is the reason why we need to export them and why we need to import the cloth, or you can say garments and apparel? So now we will see the reasons why we are importing these garments and apparels. What are the reasons? we will discuss now. Let us discuss why there is a need to import garments and apparels from the other country, and why we are supposed to export this yarn. So the first and very important reason is that it is because of the power supply is erratic. That means, as you all know, that in India we have an erratic power supply. That means we have irregular power supply. So erratic means you can say irregular power supply. So this is the reason why we need to import. And the second reason is that we need to upgrade the machinery in the weaving and processing. That means whatever the infrastructure, whatever the machinery which we use or which we have, we need to improve it, or we need to modernize that machines. So that is the reason. That means what we can say, we have the low technology or low level or less modernized industries or the machinery which we have. So therefore we have to upgrade this machinery, the weaving and processing. And next thing is that there is a low output from the labor. Whatever the labor we are hiring in the industries, their output is very lesser. And the final very important thing is that there is a stiff competition with the synthetic fiber industry. So that means nowadays most of the products are coming from synthetic fiber industry or the chemical industries. So some people, they stopped preferring the goods which are manufactured in the cotton textile industry. So probably this is also one of the reason why we need to import this garment and apparel, and why we need to export this yarn. So in the next lectures we will discuss about this jute textile industry and sugar industry. Let us discuss about this jute textiles. So as you all know that India is the largest producer of raw jute as well as jute products in the entire world. India is the largest producer of this raw jute as well as this jute products. And the next very important thing is that it is the second largest exporter of after Bangladesh. That means it is the largest producer of raw jute and the jute goods, but when it comes to the exports, Bangladesh is the leading exporter of jute and jute products, and India is the second leading producer of this jute products. And this jute, as you all know, that it is also known as this golden fiber. So in your agriculture chapter you might have learned about this, where this jute is known as this golden fiber. So next, the very important thing is that most of the jute textiles are located in West Bengal on the banks of river Hooghly. So this whatever the jute producing goods are there, jute producing industries are there, they are mostly located on the banks of river Hooghly. So we will see the reasons why they are located on the banks of Hooghly. But the next very important thing is that the first ever jute mill was set up in Kolkata, near Kolkata, in the year 1855 at a place known as this Ristra. So once again you see, it is the largest producer of raw jute and jute goods, second largest exporter, and at the same time most of the jute industries are located in Kolkata in West Bengal near the river Hooghly. And the first ever jute mill was set up in the year 1855 at Ristra near Kolkata. So now let us see what are the factors responsible for location of jute industries on the banks of river Hooghly. So the first and very important thing is that proximity of the jute producing areas. That means proximity means nearer to the jute producing areas. So you all know that the jute producing areas are located near to this Hooghly basin. So therefore the transportation cost will be reduced. Transportation cost of the raw material will be reduced if they locate near to the jute producing areas. That is one thing. The second thing is that inexpensive water transport. So that means among all the ways of transport, water transport or waterways are very cheaper, so can be easily transported. Then next thing, supported by roadways, railways and waterways. Not only this cheap water transport, but this area, that means the Hooghly basin, is well connected with this network of roadways, railways as well as waterways. So this is also other reason. And the next very important thing is abundant water for processing the raw jute. which means the processing of jute, it requires some kind of water, and if the river is side, what we can say, more and more water will be available to process this jute. So this is also one of the important reason. And the next very important thing is cheap labor, that means availability of labor in this particular region is also very high. So that is also other important reason. And next thing, Kolkata provides banking, insurance and port facilities for these jute industries. So not only all these benefits, but apart from this, they get benefit from Kolkata, such as banking system, insurance, they'll get insurance for these industries, and they also get this port facilities. So because of these various reasons, most of the jute textile industries, they are located on the river Hooghly, on the banks of river Hooghly. So next we will see the challenges faced by this jute textile industries. Let us discuss the challenges faced by this jute textiles. So the first and very important challenge is that they face stiff competition in the international market from synthetic substitutes. That means nowadays you see in the international market, most of the products are manufactured by these synthetic industries or fiber industries which are using these chemicals. So therefore what happened, there is a lot of less demand for the products which are made of jute in the international market. So this is one of the main problem faced by this jute textile industry in the international market. But as of now, there is an increase in internal demand from the country. That means there is an increase in demand within the country. Why? Because nowadays, as you all know, that government is making some of the policies which says that say no to the plastic and use only jute or jute made products. So because of that, what happened, there is a more demand within the country for this jute bags. So what we can say is that in the international market, jute textile industries, they face a lot of stiff competition, but within the country there is some kind of increasing in demand within the country. And because of these problems, what happened is that in the year 2005, the government has formulated something known as National Jute Policy. And what are the main objectives of this National Jute Policy was that, you can see the first and very important thing is it is the increasing productivity, the first and very important objective. Then the next thing is improving quality and ensuring good prices to the farmers. So these are the three main objectives under this National Jute Policy. And because of this, what is that, some of the concepts such as environmental friendly or say no to plastic and save our earth. So because of these kind of concepts, what is happening nowadays, there is a more and more demand for this jute and jute made products. So next we will see about this sugar industry. Let us discuss about the other important agro based industry, that is sugar industries. So India, when it comes to the sugar industries, India is the second in the production of sugar. That means India is in the second position in the production of sugar, but it stands first in the production of gur and kansari, which we can also call it as this jaggery. So in the production of jaggery, we stand in the first position, and in the production of sugar we stand in the second position. And the mills are mainly located, that means the sugarcane industry, the sugar mills are mainly located in UP, Bihar, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh and Gujarat. And out of these, 60% of the sugar mills or sugar industries, they are located in UP and Bihar. And since this industry or this sugarcane industry is basically it's seasonal in nature, which means it is operated only in one particular season when the sugarcane is harvested. So because it is seasonal in nature, it is highly suited for this cooperative sector. But what is happening in this sugar industry is that in the recent time period, this sugar industry has been shifted to Maharashtra. Especially most of the industries, usually they are located in UP and Bihar, but slowly they started shifting towards the southern part, especially to this Maharashtra. So what are the reasons why it has been shifted towards the southern region is that it is because sugarcane here has high sucrose content. That means sucrose means, you can say, sugar content is very high in the state of this Maharashtra. That is one reason. And the second thing is that here in Maharashtra there is a cooler climate which ensures the long crushing season. Suppose if the climate is dry climate, what happens? The sucrose content will be lost in the sugarcane, so it is not possible for crushing over a long period. But if the climate is cooler, means it will be easy for crushing over the long period. And the third very important thing is that here cooperatives are more successful in this state called Maharashtra. So just now I have mentioned it is highly suitable for cooperative sector, and in Maharashtra cooperatives are highly successful. So that is the reason why most of the industries or the sugar industries, they have been shifted towards this Maharashtra. So next we will see the challenges faced by this sugarcane industry. We will see the challenges that are faced by this sugarcane industry. So the first and very important challenge is this seasonal in nature. Just now I have mentioned that these sugar industries are seasonal in nature. That means only in one particular season they are under operative, and the remaining season they may have to be shut down. So that is one thing. The next thing is we have old and inefficient methods of production. When we take the process of production, we have old methods, at the same time inefficient. That means we are unable to complete it properly within the given time period. So this is the second drawback of this sugar industries. And the third important thing is transport delays. That means we need to transport sugarcane where it is produced to the sugar mill. And what is happening because of the delay in this sugarcane transport, what is happening? The sucrose content, or you can say the amount of sugar present in the sugarcane, is getting decreased, and need to maximize the use of buggies. Buggies means the pulp left after extracting juice from the sugarcane. We call it as this buggies, and these buggies can be used in different ways. So we need to maximize the use of these buggies instead of throwing it unnecessarily or wastely. So with this we have completed about this agro based industries. In the next lecture we will discuss about this mineral based industries. Thank you.